For a moment, the music stopped. Not just the songs, but the heartbeat behind them. The rhythms that once echoed across dusty highways, coastal towns, protest marches, and packed stadiums suddenly felt quieter. When the news broke that Rob Hirst, the drummer of Midnight Oil, had passed away, it landed like a punch to the chest. This wasn't just the loss of a musician. It was the loss of a pulse that had driven a generation, a sound that had shaped the soul of Australia itself. Midnight Oil were never just a band. They were a force of nature, inseparable from the political, cultural, and emotional landscape of Australia in the 1980s and 1990s. Their music didn't merely entertain. It challenged, provoked, and demanded attention. And at the center of that relentless drive sat Rob Hirst, quietly powerful behind the kit, laying down beats that felt as inevitable as tides and as urgent as a warning siren. His drumming didn't shout, but it spoke volumes. Since the news of his passing on Tuesday, there has been a shared, almost collective grief. You can feel it in conversations, in social media posts, in the sudden resurgence of old Midnight Oil tracks blasting from car stereos and living rooms. People are revisiting studio albums, digging up grainy concert footage, and losing themselves once again in the raw energy of a band that once felt immortal. There's something deeply emotional about hearing those songs now, knowing that one of the hands that helped create them is gone. Rob's illness had been known for some time. His cancer diagnosis meant that, on an intellectual level, many of us understood this moment was coming. And yet, when it finally arrived, it still felt unreal. Rob always seemed ageless, fit, strong, almost indestructible. Even as the years passed, there was a youthfulness to him, a vitality that made it easy to believe he'd always be there, anchoring the band with that unmistakable groove. That's why so many people have said the same thing over the past few days. This one really hurts. And it does. It cuts deep. Perhaps it hurts because Midnight Oil weren't just background music to our lives. They were woven into them. Their songs soundtracked road trips, late nights, political awakenings, and moments of personal reckoning. Rob Hirst's drumming was the backbone of that experience, steady and unwavering, giving weight and urgency to lyrics that demanded to be heard. Without him, it's impossible to imagine the Oils being what they were. On a personal level, this loss carries an added layer of sadness for me. About 10 years ago, I had the privilege of meeting Rob after hearing him give a brilliant talk about Midnight Oil's journey. He spoke with humility, intelligence, and a deep love for the music and the message behind it. Offstage, he was just as impressive, warm, approachable, and incredibly generous with his time. There was no ego, no rock star distance, just a genuine human being who seemed grateful for every connection. During that conversation, he said some truly kind things about my late brother Steve, a fellow musician who had crossed paths with Rob at different points on the road. Hearing Rob speak so thoughtfully about Steve meant more than he probably realized at the time. It revealed something essential about who he was, a man who remembered people, who valued shared moments, and who understood that music was, above all else, about connection. As the tributes continue to pour in, it's clear that Rob Hirst's legacy goes far beyond records sold or concerts played. He helped define a sound, a movement, and a moment in time. His rhythms powered songs that still feel urgent today, songs that continue to speak truth and demand action. While his passing leaves an undeniable void, the music remains, and so does the impact. Rob Hirst may be gone, but the echo of his drums will never fade. They live on in every beat of Midnight Oil's catalog, in every memory stirred by those songs, and in the hearts of those who grew up with that soundtrack playing loud. Rest in peace, Rob. Thank you for the rhythm of our lives.